I was always, as a pediatrician, interested in the plight of people with ADHD because it's invisible, but it is dramatically present in the classroom in any structured and boring learning situation. These are students who don't do well in school, who forget to hand in assignments, who don't do their work completely, who get bad grades, and who disengage, many of whom then end up with gangs or doing drugs or becoming criminals. They're at high risk for that, and a bunch of life circumstance events such as unemployment, divorce, depression, and early death. All of these have been statistically linked to the ADHD condition, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Not everybody has hyperactivity, but it's generically called ADHD. So I became interested at an early point in my pediatric career and began to learn more about it, and I went to a number of conferences given by CHAD, the national organization, which does a lot of good work about this, and I learned a lot from parents in the process. I found a lot that was not written in textbooks. I learned from parents what they experienced. So over the course of time, being out of pediatrics with my leukemia and returning to something that would use those bodies of knowledge and experiences, I thought, how about becoming an ADHD coach? So I went to a meeting of a CHAD parent meetup group, and within talking with somebody who said, "Do you know a lot about this? You should become a coach." So I went to a ADHD Coaches Organization conference in Atlanta, and I said, these people are doing important things. As it were, they're taking one starfish at a time, throwing them back in the water so that starfish can thrive and find a place in society and find a purpose in life and a sense of self validation and intrinsic value and worth as a human being. So I began to study this, and I said, I'm going to now go through a certification process, and I did. And I studied general coaching, then I studied ADHD coaching, then I was tutored one-on-one with a coach who would practice my coaching techniques, and have been doing this work for the last 5 years, working primarily with students, young people who have developmental drive and capabilities, whose potential in life I would like them to reach, and not to be snuffed out or to endure a life of rejection and anger and alienation. So I began to do this work, and I'm now very active and coach people at the moment, coaching people with ADHD in a medical school at the University of Michigan, a second-year cadet in West Point, a freshman at Cornell, a nursing student at Marymount. Being around people with ADHD and learning about them and what they find difficult with their executive functions, for instance, of planning, organizing, finishing, not losing things, and time management, big issues. Procrastination is another big issue. It became apparent to me that that video screen enticements, particularly for boys, video gaming, was conflicting with the desire of these otherwise motivated young men, and I'm thinking of my clients between the ages of 17 and 25. The conflicts were, the game is so enticing and so interesting and so unboring, and I'm unable to compete well, but I can compete in these games. And I like life to be fast-paced and exciting, and find school boring. If games proceed at 90 miles an hour, real life proceeds at 5 or 10 miles an hour if you're lucky. So I became interested, and I've studied this, and am developing an interest in sharing with parents and professional organizations how one can help identify this problem and how to do something about it, because particularly with children with ADHD and young adults, its effect on motivation and attention is very harmful. It lessens motivation, it lessens attention, it helps, it attenuates people's ability to work into a boring environment, which unfortunately, is a lot of what has to be done in life to finish rote tasks, which are necessary tasks. Paying our bills on time, paying the IRS, cleaning the dishes, going shopping with a shopping list, making sure that you have enough food in, getting clothing when you need it, not losing it. These are important life skills. So to have these abilities are very important, and to the degree that people with ADHD suffer, they don't need to have their abilities further attenuated by the constant attraction of recreational pleasure and dopamine bursts, which video games provide. So that's become quite an issue, cause célèbre for me, I would say.